Hello friends, I am Chevy. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your old house thing where you are? Hope everything is good and great. Mess is going on because I've got a good bit of work done tonight on the headboard for Keely's room, and I've been filming it myself today because the main part that I had to do that I really had to work on today was the actual headboard itself, which needed to be planed and sanded smooth. And when I say planed, I mean hand block plane. I only own a block plane, so today was one of those days I really wish I had a bench plane because I had to do quite a bit of stock removal. But this is pine, so it wasn't terrible to do with a block plane. But the block plane's not the right tool for that job. Speaking of right tools for the job, I filmed all of this myself because I don't really have the right tool for the job to have a cameraman. Keely came over, well, she spent the weekend and we started this project together, and I let her run camera. So for a while she used the big camera, and then for other parts of the time she used the GoPro. Little GoPro. Oh, it's still on. She used this little guy to do a whole lot of handheld shots, and then this also has a tripod on it, so you can just kind of set it up and go. And it works wonderfully for getting close-up shots because it really, the fisheye effect of this camera means that I can kind of zoom in a little bit, kind of move around a little bit, and it won't look horrific. So it's really good for getting in close without causing a whole lot of distortion. Whereas with the normal camera, getting in close can actually compress things, and it doesn't really look quite right. It's kind of hard to explain unless you see it. The point is, thanks to you all, well, thanks to the continuing efforts of my friends and this community, I ordered a gimbal today for my GoPro. And gimbals they're not cheap, but they're also not ridiculously expensive. The gimbal that I ordered is specifically made for GoPros and small action cameras that really won't hold anything else. And it was it was a little less than $100. And it's the kind of tool that I know I'll use a lot, but I wouldn't have spent money on it had I not gotten money from doing this, and that's part of the thing that I've, years ago when I started this project, when I started doing the YouTube thing, I thought that I was going to make a side income from YouTube. I never really wanted this to be my full-time job, but I thought I could figure out a way to make a side income by doing a daily discussion show. The discussion part never panned out. I never attracted the correct audience for some reason. I don't know if it was lack of personality or the type of personality that I have, that I wasn't able to attract people who were willing to put in, who were willing to kind of keep the community conversation alive. But I thought I was going to make a side income, and at that time I advertised a lot of stuff. I made t-shirts. I mean, this, you can see this is an actual silkscreen that I had printed. I hand silkscreened t-shirts for sale. I had a Patreon. I still have a Patreon. I haven't talked about it in 2 years, but there is a Patreon. I think right now I have 2 patrons, so I collect $1.50 a month or something like that from Patreon. I still have a Patreon. And the last time that I really kind of asked for anything was when we bought the table saw. I wanted a table saw. I had almost all the money I needed to have the table saw. I couldn't quite get to the money that I needed, and so I asked for members of the community to help me buy a new table saw, and you did. And the people who contributed, I made a plaque and put their names on the saw, and it's still there, and I look at it. I'm looking at it right now, and it makes me feel really good about what I've done here. But today I got, and for those of you who don't know, AdSense is how you get paid on YouTube. There's lots of ways of getting paid, but the advertisements that you see on my videos, I get paid for those through AdSense, which is Google's ad platform. There's no other option. I can't go with a different ad platform. I could sell my own ads and run my own ads, but that's a completely different story. AdSense requires you to have a threshold, have a balance of $100 before they'll pay you anything. And I would say last year, I think I made less than $500 from YouTube. Usually in the winter months, I get a big bump for some reason from the time capsule video. But it seems to be like about once a quarter. Every 3 to 5 months, I'll make $100. And I'll finally hit that threshold and they'll pay me. And that happened today. And it still makes me feel a little bit weird because I don't view this like... For at least 2 years now, probably more like 3 years, I have not viewed this as a money-making opportunity. I have not viewed this as my personal blog where I'm trying to sell ad space or I'm trying to sell products or whatever. It's just something that I do. It's just a part of my life. And the fact that I can collect a little bit of money every now and then and I could put it right back into the channel by buying new equipment, it makes me feel so freaking good. So amazingly good. So I just wanted to thank you. Thank you for continuing to come back and check in on me, because the truth of the matter is my dream of having a side income from YouTube probably is not going to come true, but I have what I actually wanted, and that is friends, and that's you. That's the people that continue to come back and engage with me and listen to my nonsense, who accept the fact that I'm scattered, that this isn't some sort of focused, meaningful channel, that I'm all over the place, and continue to support me. That really does mean the world to me. It means so freaking much. I can't even begin to explain to you how it makes me feel to know that you're out there. So before I start crying, thank you. Thank you for doing that, you know? And if you want to support the show in a greater fashion, I think there's still merch links. You can always go to my Amazon affiliate link. It's in the description. There's my wish list, but also if you go to Amazon, if you follow any of my Amazon links, before you buy something, I get a commission, and Amazon actually pays really well. So you can do that. You can go find me on Patreon and throw $1 in the hat so I could make a little extra each month. You can go to my website and read the articles that I've been writing, because there'll be advertisements there, and I'll make more money on that than I do on YouTube. And soon, I hope to have a lino cut or a wood cut printing that I'm proud of that I would like to sell. And so hopefully you buy that, or whatever. There's lots of ways you can support me if you feel the need. And I don't want to beg, but I want to show my appreciation. So thank you for everything that you do for me. I really appreciate you. You're amazing friends. You're wonderful people. You mean the world to me. It's a long weekend for us in America. I'll be back on Monday. See you then. Today's word you should know is avant-garde. It is a noun and an adjective meaning new and experimental, especially referring to art, writing, architecture, and music. Avant-garde art jousts with propriety, but takes care never to unseat. Mason Cooley, an American aphorist. Avant-garde. AVANTGARDE.